CBS News MoneyWatch correspondent Kelly O'Grady is here to, I hope, bring some clarity because it's so confusing.
It's a tall order, Errol.
Tall order, I know. But, you know, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that there were 18 important trade relationships that make up 95% of the U.S. deficit. Is this perhaps why the goalposts keep moving? Because you really can't unilaterally make deals with 90 countries at once and expect to get a deal in 90 days. So the president needs to show some type of wiggle room in the middle. How do you interpret that moving goalpost?
I think that's exactly right. I mean, I think Natalie just made a great point that it's quality, not quantity, that they're looking for. And you think about some of these big trading partners that are still left on the table. Ooh, we've got a fly in the studio.
We have a fly that is the size of a small bird.
If you see me swatting it away.
If you see us doing this, we're not crazy. Sorry, Kelly,
it's
please
okay.
proceed.
European Union is a really big one. And remember, it's not just, Germany, these specific ones, because they trade as a bloc. They determine trade policy as a whole. So that's a big one. Japan, South Korea, India, all of these ones are still left on the table. And remember, even though we have a framework of a deal with China, it does seem like there is still some things to be worked out in that negotiation. And of course, I didn't even mention the biggest trading partners of them all, Mexico and Canada. We do have a deal on that goes through 2026, but we do know that the president wants to negotiate that. So I think this moving of the goalpost is wanting to be able to come with something substantive so we stop this back and forth of this rate, this rate, this rate.
Right. And those are kind of the bigger pictures. What about just the fluctuations of the market today? Only been open for about almost an hour, and we had the president signing his massive domestic piece of legislation on Friday. Any reaction as far as the numbers yet to that?
I don't think that what you're seeing in the market right now, which is not a big reaction. I mean, the Dow is down 0.4%. It does continue to keep dropping. That doesn't seem to be tied to the big, beautiful bill. That uncertainty seems more about these letters that are going out allegedly at noon and what might be, because I don't think investors love to hear, we're just going to send a letter to a country and tell you this is your tariff rate. That brings us back to sort of the vibes in the beginning of April.
Quickly before you go, I want to ask you about Tesla shares. They took a hit after Elon Musk announced, hey, he's starting a new political party. He is the richest man on earth. If there's a guy who can do it, it's him.
True.
He donates, I think, the most amount of money to any politicians in the U.S. government. So what does that mean?
Well, Tesla investors don't like Elon Musk focusing on anything other than Tesla. And you saw this when he was involved in Doge and sort of the back and forth with the president. I think a lot of people, as you said, might be interested in sort of seeing a third party. And if he could do it, he's likely sort of the only person. But investors want him focused on making profits for them. And if he has his eye off the ball on something else, it's less time that he can spend with those cars.
Yeah, and his time with Doge didn't help Tesla's value or stock price. Kelly O'Grady, thanks so much. Thanks for dealing with the wildlife in here. We appreciate you.